What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, back here for some more baseball news, as the Cubs signed yet another veteran to fill in a big hole at first base. And that is former World Series champion, All-Star, and four-time Gold Glove winning first baseman Eric Hosmer, who signed a one-year deal with the Cubs, but I believe he only signed for the absolute league minimum, because the San Diego Padres still owe him for the remaining 3 years, $39 million, as he was getting traded to the Red Sox during the trade deadline. And just recently, he was released by the Red Sox as well, with 3 years left on his contract. Hosmer, of course, again, who's a former Kansas City Royal, had the best season of his career before he hit free agency before the 2018 season. But in 2017, his last at the Royals, he had hit a career high 318. He's always been like a better than league average hitter. I wouldn't say he's the most stellar first baseman with the bat, like as far as like not as like powerful as you thought he would be, but he's still, a great asset to anybody's ball club. He had signed an 8-year, $144 million deal with the Padres, and of course that showed to be quite an overpay, as his production dipped as he hit 265 throughout his time with the Padres. His production is to continue to dip, and it was just showing that he was basically super overpaid. And because of course, the large contract and his fading performance, he had been popped up in trade talks for quite a while. Originally, this past summer, he was actually involved in the Juan Soto trade. But he used his limited no trade clause to reject that trade, and instead the Padres sent Luke Voit to the Nationals in his place. Eventually, though, not just hours later, he was traded to the Red Sox for some prospects. And of course, with the Red Sox having young prospect Tristan Casas getting ready to come up soon, that led to kind of Eric Hosmer kind of blocking him. So the Red Sox did designate him for assignment and then released him. He does fill in another spot for the Cubs, who again have signed some veteran names this offseason again. Cody Bellinger, and of course Eric Hosmer on one-year deals. They also did sign Dansby Swanson, probably their biggest pickup, took a 7-year deal for him to play shortstop. And they have a couple other names, like of course Patrick Wisdom in there and whatnot. But first base, of course, was not an everyday spot for the Cubs in 2022. They had playing time scattered between Alfonso Rivas, Frank Swindell, who I believe Swindell just moved on to play in Japan, I believe, P.J. Higgins, and Patrick Wisdom, who I believe Patrick Wisdom, though, has played more third base, I feel like, for the Cubs. Now, there's a 1-year deal for Hosmer because next to Hosmer, the best option for the Cubs at first base is prospect Matt Mervis. But they want to take their time with him, they're saying, as he put on some really good numbers, and it's definitely a huge prospect for the Cubs. But yeah, this is another good deal. Again, like I keep saying, the Cubs are making some noise this offseason. Again, you just had 2 years ago, they traded away, their core players. They lost Kyle Schwarber to free agency. They traded Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, and Anthony Rizzo all in one trade deadline. So their 2016 World Series winning team, again, who I believe, again, still the only person left at this time on the 2016 World Series team for the Cubs, is in fact Kyle Hendricks. So adding these veterans, though, for a rebuilding club could be good. Especially, again, if Hosmer's more so just filling a void until Matt Mervis is ready. But, I've always liked Hosmer. Again, like I said, he's a little overrated with the bat, but he provides great chemistry to a team. He's a great fielder. I mean, yes, his productivity has dipped, with the Padres, but, he's still an experienced player to have on your team. And I think the Cubs, of course, made a good decision to go after him, because I think the Orioles were also looking at Hosmer as well. But it was the Cubs, though, who grabbed him. As again, the Cubs continue to make some moves, and again, I think the Cubs have a chance at competing maybe for second place in the National League Central. Don't think it's definite, but I think there is a good shot that they could this year. Because I think the Brewers are going to kind of fall back a little bit. But I don't think, they're going to be, horrible. But we'll see, of course, what happens. I'm interested to see, of course, how the Cubs do in 2023. But that, guys, that's my thoughts on Eric Hosmer signing a 1-year deal at the league minimum with the Cubs. Again, as the Padres do owe him 3 years, $39 million as well. What are your guys' thoughts on this Eric Hosmer signing? And again, what are your thoughts again on the Chicago Cubs as they continue to add some veterans in there to possibly contend a little in the National League Central? Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 93, and be sure as always to shout for Meatball Sub, and follow me on TikTok at the Club of the Man 93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. As always, please stay tuned for more baseball news. Have a great rest of your evening. Peace out, everybody.